name's Gordon Hicks. I'm an amateur writer and professional actor, and today we're going to be talking about writing in mainstream media. And for that, I'm going to use one of the best examples of mainstream media, Star Wars. Yes, Star Wars. And we're not talking about this Star Wars today. This is Star Wars, this is the OG here, but we're going to talk about Star Wars The Last Jedi, the 8th film in the series. And the reason is because Snoke as a character is one of the best examples that I can find of viewer expectation being built up for something and then tragically cut down in the second movie. And this is something that I think is a really poor choice when it comes to writing. People generally want to feel like they can trust and get invested in some writing, in a bad, evil character even. And Snoke is cut down without us knowing anything about his backstory, understanding any of the ways that he rose to power, or really seeing him fight. And it's something that makes me, as the viewer, and probably other people, feel like their time was wasted for 2 whole movies learning all about this character and where this character might take the storyline as a whole, only to have him be cut down. So the second thing that I'm going to talk about is tension and loss of tension in a storyline. The best example I have for that is going to be Captain America Civil War. Great film, great acting in both these films actually. This commentary today isn't about the acting, it's about the writing. In Civil War, it's the best example that I can find of a punch being pulled. From the moment that Iron Man doesn't kill Bucky in this film, I'm very aware as the viewer that they're going to be pulling punches and that none of these other characters for the remaining of the Marvel storyline are in that much danger when they're risking their lives. And that's something that, generally speaking, is you want to do the opposite. You want to build up tension in the remaining parts of your storyline. You want me to feel more tense as I'm going on in your story as opposed to less tense. And I'm not sure why they made this decision. I've thought of a few reasons, maybe not wanting to make Iron Man seem like a bad guy. But I think that it serves a dual purpose. One, leaving the audience member tense for the remaining of the film, as the softer choice kind of gave away the writers there for the remaining parts of the series. But then also builds up Thanos as more of a bad guy, because it makes it more like the team doesn't want to work together if a character was actually killed in that situation. And it makes the audience member more tense to leave, and it leaves them with the question, are they even going to get back together here? Or, you know, for the remaining film, like, what could possibly bring these people back together to save the world one last time, except exactly that, needing to save the world, and we have to work together. Like, I have to work with you as opposed to I forgive you there. So the final thing I want to talk about, and this is something I'm going to use a good example for, it's Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones in the 4th season does an excellent job of building up viewer expectation and then delivering on that viewer expectation, leading to rise in viewer satisfaction there. In the 4th season, they build up the fight between the Mountain and the Viper excellently, and then deliver on that at the end of the season without pushing it to another season or doing a rewrite mid-season and trying to stray from their predictable storyline. And this is a huge point, and the main point actually that I want to make with this video is that you can be boring. You can do predictable things in a storyline, and sometimes you actually want that to be the case. It's much better to be a little boring and respect your viewer than try to stray from a storyline that's already established and disrespect the viewer in some way and make them feel like their time was wasted. A kind of conjoining point to this is sometimes writers will stray from a storyline or not stray from something that's been done before because they're scared of doing something new, or there's a very fine line there where on one side you're worried about being boring, and then on the other side you're worried about trying something too new and people rejecting whatever that newness is. Now, I don't want this video to be a call out to writers saying, don't try anything new because it's not I just think that whatever you try that's new should be something that's built up in prior storyline first. So an example of this that I can give to Star Wars is Rey. Rey in the first season is built up as someone who has a double lightsaber weapon, and so, or a staff weapon. And so it would have been cool to see her have a double lightsaber. That's something that the viewer can kind of see coming too if she's fighting people with a staff already. However, maybe they didn't want to do this because they were worried about one of their mainstream Jedis having a double lightsaber and people getting confused there and stuff like that. However, I think that's a good hypothetical example of somewhere they could have done something new and still stuck true to something that the audience member is expecting, something that they can predict.